All right, so weekly profiles. Next one I want to continue in this series is the midweek consolidation. So first off, let's understand what a midweek consolidation is. There are two versions of a midweek consolidation in ICT's content. There's the midweek consolidation rally and then a decline. Both of them are characterized by a Monday, which is the high, or Monday, which is the low of the week. So there's a bit of an expansion away from Monday. Then in the middle of the week through to Wednesday, there's a defined consolidation, and then it will run an intra-week high or low respective to Monday's pace. So Monday will give you the directional indication for the rest of the week. So in this week, looking at the week of July 8th, Monday being July 8th, what we have here is a week full of these particular news events. So Monday, no news. Tuesday, we've got Fed Powell. Then we've got Wednesday, high impact Fed Powell again with a bond auction. Thursday, bond auction. Friday, CPI, as well as a consumer sentiment. So there's an expectation that we could see a lot of movement with these type of news events. So the framing right now is a Monday low. You can see by Thursday's price action. We've gotten above the new week gap. Tuesday was a complete consolidation. Powell's testifying at 10. Then we see Wednesday break higher. Thursday pierce that high with CPI and then effectively consolidate for the week. So a Monday low is still intact going into Friday. And there are several trade opportunities between Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday not so much because of Powell kind of setting the tone. There's trade opportunities on Wednesday, trade opportunities on Thursday, but I want to put in the journal just this piece of price action on the Friday. And so the intent would be to trade after 10 a.m., but we would use PPI to kind of get a bearing of the day. But before we even get there, the weekly profile selection is now fairly confirmed. So there's one other profile which would be a Thursday high. Thursday high would take Tuesday's low and then continue the direction of the week, which right now we're seeing is bullish. So effectively what we're expecting is that Friday will have an upward trajectory, but it doesn't mean that we're just going to only see an uptrend. We could see small price action going down, but ultimately we want the overall direction to be bullish if this profile were to hold true. So we've got our previous day's high and low, which we can use as a framing off of the one trade setup for life. We also are understanding that a Thursday high could potentially take Tuesday's low and then continue the bullish bias of the week. This is a weekly profile. So when we talk about midweek consolidations, when we see these large runs, the consolidation is effectively saying where you opened, you're going to close right around there. And that's exactly what we see. Large move up, large move down, but we're still maintaining this bullish trend, even though the price action seems to be very cannibalistic. So a move up is then completed by a move down. So the last thing to consider with a weekly profile is, have we reached any sort of target? What else could we be aiming for? There's several ways that people do this. I choose to use a Monday range. The Monday's range with standard deviations, anything between the 2 and 3 are my favorite ones to reach. We can see that CPI reached all the way up into that range. We're still below the equilibrium point, so there's potential that this area would get consumed again. So this is our thought process going into Friday. We're seeing a midweek consolidation. We're anticipating using the profile to say Friday should be bullish, but how it becomes bullish is always not immediately clear. So let's look at what Friday did. So Friday, we did see price sweep below Tuesday's low, dip into the new week gap. Monday's low stayed defended all the way through. So the expectation is that we would get higher in price. So here's that run higher. And even when we closed at this midpoint, we can still see directionally Friday would have opened here and closed here, which would confirm or maintain that bullish bias. So a lot of different ways to trade this, and the purpose of this little weekly profile series is just to start framing or putting down pen to paper, so to speak, what are the framings to determine a weekly profile. I'll do a different video on potential trade setups, but right now it's just kind of identifying telltale signs of different profiles. So the telltale sign of this profile, which would be a midweek consolidation, is you'll see Monday set the low or high of the week. So in this case, the low. You will see price action basically cannibalizing itself, doing consolidations. That's what it's doing. It's making one direction of the range, another direction of the range. And then you will see Friday continue the directional bias, which was bullish from the low to the high. That was still technically bullish, even though there was a lot of price action around it. And what you're looking for is that sweep of liquidity in the opposing direction. EPI in this case gave just one straight wick through and then continued that momentum higher. All right, and that's it.